So for those of you who've been subscribed to my channel for a while, I'm going to take a wild guess, an assumption that the reason that you are subscribed is because of my video game metal covers on my channel. I've done like over 100 of them. I'm very, very proud of them. And the biggest musical inspiration for me going into these covers is Dream Theater. My favorite band in the whole world, bar none. They are just the best. I've seen them a whole bunch of times live. I've met like half of them. They are just the best. The biggest guitar inspiration for me is John Petrucci. One of the biggest inspirations for me, like keyboard wise, Jordan Rudess. And Mike Portnoy is 100% my favorite drummer of all time. I think I've figured it out. I think I've in the last few years kind of whittled it down, and Mike Portnoy is just number one. He's just the best. He's just my absolute favorite. So back in 2010, 2011, bombshell, Mike Portnoy leaves Dream Theater. And at the point that this was announced, as a Dream Theater fan, it was like, they're over. It's done. There's no way. You can't have Dream Theater without Mike Portnoy, just like you can't have Metallica without James Hetfield. It just wouldn't work. It would be weird. That was the thinking at the time, but they very quickly got their act together. They started hunting for a new drummer, and eventually, after these amazing like videos of them auditioning the world's best rock and metal drummers, they landed on Mike Mangini. He became the new drummer for Dream Theater, a job that I have to imagine has some impossibly big shoes. But you know, fair play to the dude, absolute superhuman freak of nature on drums, and he joined the band, and it was like, okay, sweet, this is cool, this is interesting, it's new, like. This is crazy. It's really weird. I still can't imagine what this is going to be like without Mike Portnoy. But you know what? All right, I'm down. Let's see what happens. And you know what? They released some fantastic albums under Mike Mangini in the last like 5-10 years, 10, 13 years. The band had moved on. Mike Portnoy's doing his like million other different bands. Dream Theater was a new thing. Had a new drummer, had a new direction, had a new sense of musical priorities. It was very interesting. It produced some amazing music, and I absolutely loved it. And then today, October 25th, 2023, Dream Theater have announced that Mike Portnoy is returning as the drummer for Dream Theater, the founding member, the guy who, when he quit 13 years ago, we were like, wow, that's savage. That's it. GG. He's back. He's come back to Dream Theater. It's absolutely insane. As a huge Dream Theater fan, and as like a progressive metal fan, I think even people who aren't fans of Dream Theater, who are into the prog metal side of things, I think they realize how much of a big deal this is. It's Mike Portnoy. He is, in my opinion, the greatest rock metal drummer of all time. He's my absolute number one favorite. He's just, the guy just oozes personality into his music and into his playing. He has so much flair. He has written so many iconic parts. He has the iconic production. He was always a big, larger-than-life character in Dream Theater. It was just the coolest thing, like the drummer, but he's kind of steering the ship. Absolute hero. And obviously, I was truly gutted when he left Dream Theater. I was like, wow, that's crazy that we're never going to go back to that. And here we are. We're back. So I wanted to just throw in my thoughts, I guess, get like a reaction to it, because it's pretty insane. And yeah, my thoughts are, I am incredibly excited. Honestly, I think the idea of being able to see Dream Theater live again with Mike Portnoy behind the kit is just going to be. It's one of those things that you accepted a while ago that you're never going to see again, and it's fine. We move on with our life, but it's happening. And I guess the other big thing to say is that, like, dude, fair play to Mike Mangini, man. If a band loses their drummer and they're looking for a new one, I can't think of a more daunting band than Dream Theater to try and fill that role. To try and replace Mike Portnoy, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It would be like trying to replace the frontman of Metallica. If you're James Hetfield's left, can you fill a spot? No one's going to say yes to that, because it's just too big a job. And Mike Mangini stepped in and said, yeah, you know what? I will be the drummer for Dream Theater, a title that very, very few people can pull off. And a title that up until Mike Mangini, I thought no one could pull off. And for all his faults, Mike Mangini absolutely smashed it as Dream Theater's drummer. I think I've seen Dream Theater live with Mike Mangini behind the kit like 3 or 4 times maybe. Absolutely outstanding every single time. Like, particularly the last time I saw them earlier this year, like, his production was just, his drum sound was just like, it just exploded out of the speakers, but it was so loud and hardcore, but so crisp and precise. And it was true marvel watching him play. When you watch Mike Mangini live, it's just, there's nothing quite else like it. So what I will say is that, like, fair play. You spent 13 years as the drummer for Dream Theater. Like, that's absolutely incredible. And I'm very interested to find out how it all went down. I think based on like the messages that they've put out on the social medias, it looks like Dream Theater wanted Mike Portnoy back. And so the decision was made by the band to get Mike Portnoy back and to move Mike Mangini out. It doesn't seem like Mike Mangini was just done and wanted to quit, and they were like, oh, crap, okay, hey, let's get the original guy back. I don't think it's that, but obviously with very, very little information, it's kind of ridiculous to speculate and to try and figure it out. But it's just a bombshell thing. It's just crazy. I genuinely felt like I was dreaming when I read the thing, because it was just like, this is just crazy. Mike Portnoy coming back to Dream Theater is just, it's almost like a meme of like what angry prog metal fans have been sort of screaming online for years and years and years. Oh, Portnoy's better than Mike Mangini. Bring him back. Get Mike Portnoy back. Blah blah blah. It's just kind of gone on and on, and it's just insane that they've done this, and it's crazy because they're now jumping straight into the studio and releasing a new album. And I think this is probably the thing I'm most excited by, because, from my opinion, Mike Portnoy obviously being just the best, producing some of the best music I've ever heard. I think, in my opinion, over the years. I think towards the last couple of albums before he left, maybe some of the musical choices he was making weren't my favorite things. Some of the super hardcore like rock metals that he did in some of the tracks on completely gone from my brain. Black Clouds and Silver Linings. Wasn't a huge fan of that. I'm not a big fan of the rapping in The Dark Eternal Night. I think that's definitely like a Mike Portnoy thing that just was like, this is what we're going to do. And it's like, okay, cool. And yeah, there's little bits like that. So I think by the time it got to that point before he left, I was like, when he left, it was a bombshell. But I was like, no, actually, do you know what? I think some fresh air could be really cool. I think now that he's back in the band after 13 years and they're going straight into the studio means that this next Dream Theater album is going to be something very, very special. I don't think they're ever going to recapture that same energy and magic that they had in the early days. But I think with 13-year break and then having a founding member just come back and then just straight into the studio to write an album, I just can't imagine how much energy and how much excitement there's going to be like while writing that new record, because it's like literally getting the old band back together, and that old band happens to be just some of the best rock metal musicians who've ever lived, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. So I'm very, very, very keen to hear new Dream Theater music now. And I think, like the last couple of albums, they've been good, but maybe that last one was a bit like, yeah, this is cool. Wouldn't mind something kind of like new. And I think that's what we're going to get with Mike Portnoy returning to Dream Theater. It still seems so weird to say that like out loud. Still seems like this is just a massive prank. I genuinely saw the thing earlier on. I was like, they're trolling. They're trolling. Their account's been hacked. This is insane. I can't believe it. But no, it's for real. It's the real deal. So anyway, this is like not a normal video I make on this channel. I appreciate that this is just me like ranting about how much I love Dream Theater for 10 minutes or however the hell long this video is. But yeah, crazy, crazy bombshell announcement. Probably the biggest, craziest announcement that could be made in the music industry for me. It was just like, I just can't believe it. I absolutely can't believe it. So I'm very excited. I think it's really cool to see like Dream Theater as a band are about to like take off and do something crazy. It's like this enormous next huge chapter. I think it's very, very exciting. I think a band to be going for as long as they've been going, and it's like their 16th album they're about to come and make. I mean, it's crazy. What an absolute powerhouse of a band. And they've got the dream team back together, and I'm very, very excited. And I really can't wait to hear the new music. And the second tickets go on sale, I'm going to be right there, because yeah, I ain't missing that. But anyway, that's the end of this video. Sorry, it's kind of random. I'm not that sorry. I like talking about Dream Theater. I love them. Anyway, I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.